previous videos, we looked at the US units of measure for length and weight. In this one, we want to focus on capacity or volume. So by that, I mean we're looking at things like cups, pints, quarts, and gallons. There are several here to get familiar with. Some key ones are the 1 cup and 8 fluid ounces. A pint is 2 cups. A quart is 2 pints. And a gallon is 4 quarts. If you know all of them, that's great, but there are about 3 or 4 minimum ones you want to get familiar with. Let's look at some examples. We're going to work these the same way. In order to convert, we're going to use one of those ratios that was given. So gallon and pints. If I look back here and try to find, I don't see anything that directly goes from gallons to pints. I have gallons to cups, and I have gallons to quarts. What else do I have? I have quarts to pints, and I have pints to cups. So there's a couple ways we could do this one. The way I chose to do it is say 1 gallon, and then use the 4 quarts for each 1 gallon. So my gallons cancel. Now I'm into quarts, but then I know that there are 2 pints in every 1 quart. So multiplying across the top, I get 8 pints out of that 1 gallon. As I said, you could have done it using one of the other conversion factors. As long as you're using a legitimate method, it's fine. All right, so 500 fluid ounces is how many gallons? All right, let's look back at our chart. We have gallons that compare to cups and gallons that compare to quarts. The only place we have ounces is something involving cups. So to me, it makes the most sense to go from gallons to cups and then from cups to ounces. So that's what I did here. So first off, I said 500 ounces, and I took off the fluid. So 500 ounces over 1 is multiplied by 1 cup over 8 ounces. So my ounces cancel. Now I'm down to cups. But then I know that 1 gallon is 16 cups. So my cups cancel. My final unit will be gallons. Multiplying across the top and the bottom, I get 500 over 128 and use my calculator to get the rounded answer of 3.9 gallons. All right, so I'm just using the conversion factors dimensional analysis like we've done with all the other units. Here's one. If you think you're kind of getting the hang of it, try this one. Hit pause and try to find the sum of 4 gallons and 2 pints with your answer being in cups. All right, so if you're not sure what to do, what I would do is I'd go back here and I'd say, well, do I have anything involving gallons and cups? Yes, cool, I do, right there. 1 gallon, 16 cups. Do I have anything involving pints and cups? Yes, I do. 1 pint is 2 cups. So that tells me what to do with this problem. First off, let's change the gallons to cups by using 16 cups over 1 gallon. So the gallons cancel, left with cups, in fact, 64 cups. Similarly, for my 2 pints, I know there are 2 cups in 1 pint. The pint labels cancel. We're left with cups, specifically 4 cups. The total means I'm going to add those 2 things together and get a grand total of 68 cups. All right. I really want you to pause this time and see if you can work out these 2 problems. Let's see how you did. All right, I'm going to go ahead to my answers here. Filling a 2-gallon jug and a 2-quart pitcher with lemonade, and I am using 8-ounce cups for serving. How many servings will I have? Well, it's pretty much like that last example we just did, except instead of worrying about pints, we're using quarts. But that's okay, because if you remember, we do have something here that talks about quarts and cups. 1 quart is 4 cups. So we should be able to do this very similarly. 2 gallons, 16 cups per gallon, so 32 cups. 2 quarts with 4 cups per quart leaves me with 8 cups. And then I add that up, I get 40 cups total. Each cup is a serving, so we have 40 servings. The next one's a little bit trickier, right? So Alan's making this chili. His recipe ends up with 24 cups of chili, and he has 2 types of pots, a 5-quart pot and a 2-gallon pot. He doesn't want to have this overflowing, so he has to choose the correct pot. So we're going to compare everything in cups. We got to turn the 5 quarts into cups and the 2 gallons into cups. First off, the quarts. So 4 cups per quart, quarts cancel, that means 20 cups. Not big enough. All right, so let's look at the 2-gallon one. The 2-gallon pot, and there are 16 cups per gallon, means I have 32 cups. So we are absolutely going to use that larger 2-gallon pot for this chili. Let me know if you have any questions.